Starting at 0700 hours, the Warsaw Pact air forces will surge aircraft west towards Lübeck and Hamburg. Fighter and defense suppression sweeps will secure local air superiority and enable follow-on strikes on several high-value targets. Flight 101, a two-ship of Su-22s, will strike hardened helicopter shelters at a West German army base south of Lübeck. Your time on target is 0715. Good luck. Welcome aboard my Su-22M4, and it really is a Su-22 today because we're flying a GDR-1. As mentioned in the briefing, our target for today is a hardened helicopter shelter at a Bundeswehr army base just on the other side of the border, so not a terribly deep target today. Before anything else, let's get taxi clearance and get moving onto the runway. As was probably also in the briefing, our mission for today is part of a large surge of Warsaw Pact air power to the west across northern Germany. So there's a large fighter sweep, a large defense suppression package that'll be going in a few minutes ahead of us, so as to hopefully secure us a window of air superiority so that various strikers can get through and hit various targets in a short window of time. Our notional time on target is going to be 15 minutes past the hour. The first fighters and seat aircraft will be going in at about 10 minutes past the hour. It may not sound like we have a lot of time, with it being the top of the hour now. There's the clock down there. But it's only about a 90-kilometer trip to the target, so very short, really. We can cover that distance in about 5 minutes. So, as we approach the threshold, I'm going to sweep the wings forward, then once they're forward, we'll set the flaps for takeoff, as we're approaching the runway here. And I believe that's the wing swept fully forward, so we will set flap for takeoff. Roll to a stop at the hold short line. And request takeoff. If we don't get it in just a second, I'll line up. Yeah, looks that way. Alright. I'll just wait for ATC to do its song and dance. Okay, clear for takeoff. Let's go. Hit over 200, pull that nose up. Go. You're up. And flaps up. That looks like a Su-24. I think that's part of the defense suppression package. So it should be going the other way. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Anyway, flaps are up. I'll just verify that visually because of quirks of the mod. And we'll sweep the wings back. And also call up waypoint 1. Now, waypoint 1 is... Oh yeah, we're facing east, that's why the Su-24s are going the other direction. Duh. Waypoint 1 is an ingress point about 40 kilometers short of the target. 2 reports wheels up. I'm going to throttle back actually quite a bit so that he can catch up. Waypoint 1, again, ingress point about 40 clicks short of the target. So we'll hold there if we're a little bit ahead of schedule, since it's the closest thing to a safe piece of airspace for us to hold in that one can expect in World War III. Now, since I was in such a hurry to taxi and take off, I didn't talk much about weapons and tactics. You've probably seen from the external views already that slung under the aircraft, we have a pair of KH-29L laser-guided missiles, and we're going to be firing those at the helicopter shelters. That's precisely the sort of target they were designed to hit. So we should get pretty good results from them. Being laser-guided, we'll have to stay nose-on to the target and guide them all the way in, which is going to present us with a bit of a window of vulnerability. This aircraft can carry the KH-29T, which is the fire and forget TV-guided version, but because the screen isn't functional in the mod, the means of employing them is a bit of a bodgy workaround, so figured I'd use a weapon that I could employ 100% properly. Anyway, we're 50 clicks from waypoint 1, time is currently 7:06, so we are well on schedule. We can probably aim to depart waypoint 1 and head for the target at about 7:12 and 30 seconds, because again, that 40-kilometer distance at a speed of about 1,000 kilometers an hour or 0.85 Mach will cover that in about 2.5 minutes. So anyway, we shall proceed towards the ingress point for now. Welcome back to my world of perpetual radio chatter from the entire Warsaw Pact. We're about to hit waypoint 1. It's about 11 minutes past the hour. That's probably close enough to the time we need to be departing the waypoint at. So the waypoint should be directly over the center of this lake, which it is. So call up waypoint 2 and push up the power. We're just shy of full mill power so that 2 can keep up. Closest bandit 270 for 90, that should be no factor, and there should be a cloud of fighters between us and there. So not too big of a deal. 2, engage primary and proceed directly to base afterwards. I can't really be stooging around over enemy territory waiting for him to form up. Now, our designated targets are at the very south corner of the base, the 2 southernmost helicopter shelters. Mine's the near one, his is the far one. So, try and remember which one is designated to me. I have the target imagery pretty clearly visualized in my head. So, 25 kilometers to target. Plenty of signs of war about. The seed package are engaging SAMs. There are Su-24s and MiG-27Ks out doing defense suppression in front of us. 20 clicks to target. I'm going to pop up at about 15, I think. So, arm up weapons. Air to ground is on, master arm is on, look up periodically so we don't fly into the scenery. I think that's everything set up as it needs to be. Right, 15 clicks, climb up to, well, however high we need to be. I think I see the base. Yeah. That's definitely it, but I need to get a little bit higher. I'm going to do automatic dispensation of countermeasures. Okay, I see the corner of the base where the shelters should be, but the lighting is not great to spot them very well. Climb very slightly higher in the hopes that a better angle will help. Okay, I can see my designated target. Now, I think so. Laser on, lock it up. Shoot. I am slightly low. Come on, walk onto the target. That looked like a pretty good hit. I'll make a second pass to fire my other missile, which is going to be risky, but we're going to have to do it. I'll try and approach from a slightly different angle, so we'll peel off to the south right now. 2 reports RTB. Does that mean he hit his target, or does it just mean he chickened out? You never quite know with these things. Okay, open up the range a little bit further. And pop back up. Countermeasures back on. Don't exceed the G limits, we are going very fast. I see an aircraft over the base. Possibly ours, possibly not. Okay. I think I'm going to put a missile into a target that I can see. As my target's obscured by fire, it appears completely destroyed. We'll see if we can put one right through the door of this other one. We might have been a little close for the missile to guide. It seems to be tracking. Good hit! Shelter's burning. Right over the base. Oh boy, I can see the soccer pitch there. And these will be the southern outskirts of Lübeck, I think. Okay, Egress east. I'll get more specific in a second. Right, out of air ground, master arm off. Nav, aerodrome 1. And we're actually pointing straight at it, so 95 clicks back to base. Countermeasures off, and mill power until I'm convinced we're back over the front line. Probably wise not to fly in a completely straight line, so I'll maybe do a little bit of shallow jinking. It's this over here. Those look like big, slag piles. Must be some kind of mine or metalworking facility of some sort around here. That kind of looks like a coking plant, but I don't know for sure. I've far from memorized the geography of the Germany map just yet, because I haven't flown on it much. Right, I think we're probably back over friendly lines at this point. I see smoke trails and an aircraft burning over there. What do we got here? That? What is that? It's either a MiG-27 or a Su-22, I think. We might happen to be egressing on basically the same track as one of the defense suppression groups. Anyway, I think we are indeed back over friendly territory now, so I can unclench slightly, and we can begin to make our way back. I'll tell 2 to return to base, even though he already said he was going to, just to give the AI a nudge a little bit. Okay. But yeah, like I said, not super familiar with the Germany map yet, and admittedly, in making this mission, I feel like I may have oversimplified the scenario a little bit, but there is a bit of a problem there, in that if one actually tried to recreate a Third World War in Germany at full scale in DCS, the scenario would have so many units in it that no one's PC would be able to run it. So I do have to kind of scale things down a little bit, but I've tried to create something vaguely realistic. At least insofar as one can when recreating a war that never was. Or creating a war that never was, whatever. I don't think there's too much more for me to add there. I think we can proceed back to base. Welcome back. We're about 25 clicks from home. I'm going to call the tower.
101. Возврат.
0339. I won't pay too much attention to that, but runway 10 is the operative word there, which is the same one we took off from, so no big surprise that that's the active runway. I was about to say I've climbed to 600 meters, which should be circuit altitude, but I've dropped a bit below that from not paying attention. But based on the direction we are coming from, we're going to be actually almost lined up with the runway as we come in, I think. I don't quite have the field in sight yet, though. Ease her up a bit to 600. And I can probably slow down a bit as well. Once we get down below 700 or so, probably sweep the wings forward in preparation for landing. Like I forgot to do last time. Okay, I can see the field now. What I'm going to do is cross overhead from upwind and join a left downwind for runway 10. So speed is coming back. I will sweep the wings forward. Ease the aircraft up a little. Now, the reciprocal of 100 is 280. Is the heading we'll want on downwind. Alright, 600. I'll let the speed come back towards 500 or so is my circuit speed, I think. Yeah, Su-22 should be able to handle that. Anyway, crossing over the field. We left from that hardened shelter in the far corner there. Can I see a windsock? Yes, I can. That's not a windsock. Oh, there's a windsock. It looks pretty limp. So I don't think we have too much of a wind factor to worry about. It's chronically low in the circuit here. Anyway, field's well behind us. We can start our turn onto downwind. I'll maintain about 500 for now. I'll get gear and flaps out once we're level in the downwind. It's 280, 600 meters. Circuit height actually should be about 630 because the field's 600 meters above sea level, and the altimeter is set to MSL. Wait till the runway is about 45 degrees behind us, and since we're slow enough, I'll get gear and flaps down now. Gear down, 3 green, flaps indicate down, start the turn onto base. And let that altitude come down to about 300 meters as we go. Gently. And aim for probably about 400 kilometers an hour. Is that 2? I think it might be. Is he gonna cut me off onto final? He might. In that case, I'm going to modify my base leg slightly so as to slot in behind him. Is to eliminate the risk of collision. Let's see, does he have his gear down? Is he landing? Yes, he is. Okay. I'll land just behind him then. Maybe not quite in formation, but near enough. Speed and altitude are pretty good. 2 actually made it back, although I have a sneaking feeling that he didn't actually hit the target and aborted, but as it turned out, I hit his target for him anyway. So we might be needing to have a word about that when we get on the ground. It's just so difficult to get the DCS AI wingmen to behave themselves and do what you want, so This is why I fly so many missions as a singleton, so that I don't have to worry about it. Oh, do I have air-to-air mode turned on? I do. Okay, get rid of that so that I don't have a mistletoe on my wingman on final. I can actually slow down quite a lot here. Probably aim to cross the threshold at about 320, 300. And make sure I'm well behind 2 at the same time. Which I appear to be. He's already on the runway, so that's okay. Just little sanity check. Wings are swept forward, gear and flaps are down. Not about to do anything stupid, probably. Where's our first taxiway we can vacate on? Pretty close, so we'll get the shootout right away. Anyway, power back to idle, into the flare, dunk. Parachute out, speed brakes out. Decelerate. And we should easily be able to vacate left there, so we are good. Flaps can come up, and once they're up, I will sweep the wings back for taxi. Yeah, basically no wind, as you can see from the sock there. So. Yep. Sweep the wings back, taxi to parking area. All good. Another mission survived in World War III. I'm not sure this taxiway is actually meant to be used by an aircraft this size. It's awfully narrow, isn't it? But our landing gear track at least fits within it, so I guess that's okay. Ah, I do love the level of detail on this map. It's, maybe even the best one going right now. Anyway, hang a careful left here, trying to keep my wheels on the pavement. And we'll taxi back to the Hardened shelter from whence we came, and probably be reloaded and sent right back out on another mission. In terms of off the top of my head debrief, I think that went reasonably well. I did end up hitting 2's target as well, like I said, so both mission targets destroyed despite his worst efforts, as it were. Making a second pass on a target is always risky, but I got away with it on this occasion. In general, the mission profile this aircraft was designed for was to approach at low altitude like we did, hit a target in one pass, and egress back at low altitude, all as fast as physically possible. So, the profile we flew may have been slightly suboptimal in terms of survivability, but again, we got away with it. Big 21's over there. And in terms of the mission setup and target selection, I mean, the first mission I did on the Germany map in this aircraft I felt was a little bit unrealistic because, one, we were hitting a target right on the front line, although we were pretty close to it this time too, admittedly, which an attack aircraft like this probably wouldn't be doing in this kind of war. And also the fact that I was by myself with no immediate other aircraft in support seemed a bit dubious, because, again, the way both sides really plans to fight a Third World War in Germany was going to involve very large surges of air power, because doing anything less just wasn't going to be survivable. Anyway, approaching our Hardened shelter here. The very sort we just destroyed, so that makes you wonder a little bit, but that's not really for us to worry about, I guess. I will pull in facing the wrong direction just so as to clear the taxiway, and then the ground crew can figure out what to do from there. Do a little multi-point turn and then push the airplane back, probably. Anyway, come to a stop. Open up the lid, why not? Shut her down. He says, there we go. And that is going to be it for this mission. I hope it was reasonably interesting and perhaps even a tad exciting to watch. The Su-22 will absolutely be featured again in the future. That's the Su-22 mod by VinntoreZ, of course. I think that's going to be it for now. Toodles.